Hello, everybody. This is Tanika Steams, and this is Mind Your Business. And tonight, my guest is Charles
Hello.
Venable, or
Hey.
Minister Charles Venable. He is the general manager of Myers AutoWorld and Ford Auto Company. He is the president and CEO of Victory Labs LLC, Pastoral, assistant at Greater Mount Calvary Church of God in Christ, and he is married to the beautiful Deanna Venable. They've been married for 16 years, and he's the father of three girls, Michaela, who is 20, Tiaja, who is 15, and Kalea, who is 2. He loves
Yes.
serving, teaching, and developing people to become the best that they can be. He's focused to live a life that is pleasing to God and one that will be an example to lead others to Christ. Now, he was being very modest in his bio, but we all know that he is a pillar to our community here in Muncie. He has done a lot of great things helping out in the community with the kids and with the adults and just ministering to people and just helping out in every way that he can. And he's always ready to lend a helping hand. So tonight I am very grateful to have him on the show just to talk about life and business, ministry and family, and how they all go together and how he uses. So with no further ado, Minister Venable, please tell us who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, again, thanks, Tanika, for that wonderful introduction. Kind of felt weird about that in the beginning because, I just, it's very difficult for me to share those things, it's just difficult, but I really appreciate the opportunity for you having us on here tonight, and certainly just wanted to come in, show some love, show some support to what you're doing, and whatever we can do to help somebody. Hopefully, there's something that's said tonight that'll be an encouragement, that'll help motivate someone, and maybe to help strengthen someone in what their endeavors are. So, again, my name is Charles Venable. A lot of people know me basically from the car industry. Of course, been in the industry since 1999, and I've had a lot of help along the way, and certainly grateful for all the opportunities that have been extended my direction, as well as, my passion, of course, is helping my dad as he's the pastor of our church and being his right hand to help in the ministry and ultimately leading people to Christ. So, of course, I feel like every blessing that has come my way, there's certainly nothing that I've done on my own. Really, all of it is to God be the glory, because he's the one who's done it, and he's created these platforms, and he's the one who's created these successes to where we can show others how that was done, and that we had nothing to do with it, that it was all him. And certainly we're grateful and for all the blessings. So one of the reasons I like doing what I do is simply serving people and helping people. The blessing for me is I found out over time that I'm blessed by being a blessing. And it's amazing when I really figured out how my success came. It really came by being helpful to other people. So it's just something that I feel like from birth I've been naturally gifted to do. Pretty much every job I've had have consisted of serving someone, whether it started at McDonald's, serving people at McDonald's, and now to the level of what I'm doing for, the industry at our Buick GMC and our Ford store, serving people, whether it's cars, purchasing new cars, helping them with finance, servicing vehicles, body shop repair, all of it's wrapped up into serving people. So I just enjoy it because I enjoy people. I enjoy helping people, and I enjoy seeing people. I enjoy seeing people successful, and I enjoy seeing people happy, because that brings me life fulfillment. When I can see others happy, it brings me life fulfillment. So again, thanks for having us here tonight.
Hey, no problem. We thank you for taking time out to come on, because I know you're a busy man. You work and you got your family. And so, just finding the time to say yes and to come on, I am very thankful. So you just froze up, but no worries. I think we're going to be okay. But hang on a second. Let me see. I just lost them. Let me see if I can get them back. Uh-oh. Well, come on back. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, I don't know why we are having technical. We are. Now, here's the thing. I can tell you, whenever I have got spirit-filled folks, which is usually every time on my show, the enemy likes to get busy and mess up with the technical stuff. So we ain't gonna worry about that. But that's what happens because it's some good stuff that we get ready to talk
We're
about.
gonna talk about some
And the
great stuff.
enemy, yeah, the enemy don't be wanting to get out there. But I wanna first start out by commending you, Indiana, because being with someone and being married to someone for 16 years is commendable. And we don't see that too often anymore. And when I see it, I applaud it because it's a beautiful thing. And I believe the family is the first and
Mhm.
foremost. It's
Yeah.
it's a business within itself.
Yes.
So I just want to applaud you two for, leading the way and showing others in our community what that looks like and raising a beautiful family. And just,
Thank
you're
you.
both loving, kind,
Thank
spirit filled people. And every time I see you, you always got a smile on your face, both of y'all. So, that is something to be said. Because with everything that's been going on and working and trying to
Ah,
run a business and all of that, just
yeah.
talk about that for a minute, how you've been able to stay grounded through all of that.
Well, I can tell you, we literally have last year, 2020. I will say was probably one of the most difficult years that I have had. Literally, when I say the most difficult years, when it comes to number one business, when it actually comes to our church and our ministry, there were so many uncertainties. There were so many things that were constantly changing. And, and to be honest with you, we were in the midst of a pandemic. And, from a leadership standpoint, it's not one of the things that you can do when these uncertainties happen and when these things happen as a leader, whether it be a leader at my store or a leader at my church. It just wasn't one of those things that I can tuck my tail between my legs. I can go hide and wait for the storm to pass. It was literally every day that being focused and being, to really make sure that I'm performing at the top of and I'm performing at the top of my level to make sure to steer the ships and everything that I was involved in. And, I say this to be, not to be boastful. I say this to really brag on God, on how good God really is, because last year, even in the midst of a pandemic, my wife and I were able to purchase our new home. It was a home that, I remembered years ago. I remembered years ago being young. We would just drive through neighborhoods and we would think maybe one day, you know what I mean, one day, and we would look and see these houses or whatever have you, and we would think just one day, maybe, who knows, but 2020 we were able to purchase that house that we have been working so hard for, and just something that we thought that we could do. And we were able to do that. We were able to successfully sell our own home. So I didn't want to reach out to a realtor. I told my wife, I said, I want to try this. It's a new challenge. I like challenges. And I said, it's a new challenge for me. And I said, I believe I can do this. I believe we can do this. Let's do it and let's figure it out. And we were able to successfully do that. And even in the midst of all that happening, I said I just didn't feel like we were done. I wanted to do something. I seen an opportunity for the community that I said I really think that I can wrap our heads around this, and I really feel like I can do this, and it would be something good because. Being that I'm working out of town now, I'm a little bit more disconnected from Muncie because I work out of town. And but my heart, I'm born and raised in Muncie, 1216 East 7th Street, 1216 East 7th Street. That's where I'm from, outside of Muncie. And, I just said this is something I feel that I can stay connected. I can give back to the community. I can give back to the city of Muncie. And when I seen this opportunity, I said, definitely, I said, this is it. I'm going to go for it. And I just put in, I said, hey, I'm trusting God. If it's for us to have it, everything is going to flow smooth. I'm a real big fan of making sure to acknowledge God first before I make any type of decision when it comes to things like that, because those things are important to me. I don't want to do things on my own. And one of my things, and my wife will tell you this, I always say, and I really mean this because I haven't always been like this. I'm okay if God says no. I'm okay if he says no, because I feel like what the Lord adds, he doesn't add sorrow to it. And I said that I feel like if it's for us to do this, whether it be the house, whether it be everything, I'm okay with him saying no. And it used to didn't be like that because I would always pray for the yes. Like, give me the yes, 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 yes. I need yes, yes, yes. But I'm okay with the no's now, because I realize sometimes it's good for us to say no, because he does know what's best for us. And I know that he knows what's best for us. He knows what's best for me, and if he says no, I'm okay with that. But the Lord opened up this other door for us to do that. And I'm so excited here to be able to introduce that and introduce this vision to the city of Muncie here within the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. See, I'm right on time to have you on here, because when I follow you anyways, because you used to live down the street from my grandmother, and so I've seen you growing up and everything, and just to see the things that you've done as a young Black male in this community is just awesome, because again, we don't often see that, especially being grounded and rooted in your community from where you grew up, and growing from an environment that could have took you in so many different directions. Yeah. But you have come up and showed other people by being a leader. Last night, I was talking about leadership and how do you effectively change leadership and what that looks like. And I was saying, how it starts in the home to your business, and we all are leaders in some type of way without even wanting to be at times. And so, sometimes it can feel like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders, but you have seemed to remain humble through all of that. Can you tell other young Black brothers what that looks like and feels like to go through? Because I'm sure people look at you and think that you just always had it all handed to you and everything has been great. But explain to them, what it's like to go through coming up and staying humble and being where you are right now.
Well, I really feel like, and if I can just be transparent and very honest today, the first thing, it starts with self. A lot of people just don't believe in their self, and not to mention they don't really believe in their self. And then when other people, outsiders outside of self, start to basically provide you information, that makes you second guess even what you already believe about yourself, it can actually put you in a position to where you just go backwards and backwards and backwards and backwards. In early stages of my life, I remember some of the people that were the very closest people to me. It was some people that I would never ever that would think that would say what they would say. I remember somebody, and this was close. I remember it like it was yesterday, someone that told me that you'll never be nothing, you'll never have nothing, and it was somebody that, that I still to this day hold dear to my heart, but they don't know, that actually lit a fire. It lit a fire to me, and I've held on to that, and I've held on to it, not to use it as unforgiving to them, but I've used it as fire. And I transition that energy into the right format to say, no one can dictate my future. You know what I mean? No one can put a handle on my life. I don't have to settle for less. I know who I am. I know what I can do. And then not to mention, when I hear the scripture, Matthew 6:33, to seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added. I really took that to heart, and I said, I'll never forget, it was the second week, the second Saturday night in December of 2004. And I fully committed my life to Christ. And I said, God, I've heard about all this, and I've heard what you say you can do and all this. And I'm going to give you my life. And you know what I want you to do? I want you to prove to me, that you have all this under control, that you can do this. And ever since then, I've just seen the blessings just flow. It's just like, and I know that was such a transitional turning point, in my life. I had just lost my grandmother. She had just passed away, and she was one of the people that I could always go to. I could always go to her for information, and she was like my refuge. She was my safe place. Well, the very minute I give my life to Christ, then she goes off the scene 2 weeks later, and I'm like, whoa, wait, whoa. And now I'm out there, not that I had a mother, I had a father, but she was my go-to. She was the one that I felt confident that I could talk to about anything. And she wouldn't judge me, or she would tell me the truth, but she had a way of doing it. And when she left, I didn't have anybody else but to lean on. And it was such a disturbing time in my life because I was really going through some financial hardships. I was at a position where I'll never forget. I couldn't pay my rent. I couldn't pay my bills. At the time, I had my oldest daughter. She would come in, and the TV would go to snow. You know what I mean? As the cable cut off, and she would come out like, "What happened to the TV?" Like, I'm like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Something must be wrong with it. But I remember one Christmas that I was just sitting at the house, and I looked over. We had a Christmas tree, and I just didn't have anything underneath it for my daughter. And I remember at the time I was into video games, and I'm playing video games, and I just looked, and I'm like, I really got to do something different. I got to figure this out. I got to do something different. And I'll never forget, at the time there was that Dave's Video Exchange, and I remember that was when it was by Planet Fitness. That was when it was by Planet Fitness, and I remember looking at that tree, and I remember telling Deanna, "I'll be right back. I'll be right back." And she was like, "Well, where are you going?" I was like, "I'll just be right back." And I remember taking my video game system and wrapping the cords up, taking all my games I had, taking my video system, unplugging it, and I went and pawned it, and I went and sold it basically. And then the money that I got from that, I had gave it to her, and I said, go buy something for, our kids, or go buy something for Michaela at that time, because we only had the one. And I'll be honest with you, that is the last time that I've actually played a video game since then. So that time, I've had video game systems, but I've not played them anymore. That was the final point. I was like, I've got to figure something out. I don't have time for video games. I've got to figure something out. And those were some of the turning points in my life. And certainly I'm so grateful for, number one, believing in myself. Number two, believing that God is in control of my life, and that, as Ephesians 3:20 says, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. And just allowing that power to work, and just getting more self-driven to whereas nothing can stop you. With that on your side, nothing can stop you. And certainly we've been blessed.
Amen. Thank you for being transparent and sharing that, because a lot of times, when I started this platform, it was for reasons just like this, because I need people to see that there are people among them that are everyday people, but extraordinary people that are leading the way and that are setting the standards for where we need to be in life, and it can be done. And I understand what you're saying when you said somebody spoke to you and said that's never going to happen, because my own grandfather told me that I was never going to do certain things. And I'm just like, I wish he was here today to be able to see that those things were not true. But it does fuel you. And I thought about when you're talking about your grandmother, when you gave yourself to Christ, she knew you were in good hands. And she knew that, she was your confidant. But now at this point, she had handed you over to the one that could lead you to where she knew you could go. And I know right now she is looking, going, see, I knew he could do it. And she is proud of you, and so that's something to be proud of. And you got to be proud of yourself. You got to have that thought in your life that says, I am somebody, I am good enough, I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. And that's the thing that people don't understand. That's the difference. The difference between two people is who's in their life.
I really believe that. You spoke on so many nuggets and shared so many nuggets within that conversation. I really believe that there's a difference between arrogance and confidence. And a lot of people judge confidence with arrogance because they don't know the individual. And I know, and it's very easy to do when, people sometimes cast judgment, and sometimes people feel they know somebody, but in really till they really get a chance to know that individual, they would have maybe a different perception. But, with you being able to say that, my grandmother always told me when I was young, she kept continuing to tell me, you got big shoulders. And I'll be like, Grandma, I don't have big shoulders. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't have, what are you talking about? But she would always tell me, you got big shoulders, you got big shoulders, you got big shoulders, you got big shoulders. And it really took her to pass away. And then when I started to be able to see the weight of things, that it came to me one day, that's what she meant. She meant that I can take it. This leadership stuff, I can handle it. I can do it because I've got big shoulders. And it's like I can hear her voice sometimes, some of the words that she talked to me about. And I really, she's been gone since January 7th of 2005. But I've got a picture of her in my office, my home office. And there's oftentimes, please don't take this wrong, I may look over and I'll be like, Grandma, what you thinking? Just because,
Yes.
like, I got her picture there. I get a chance to just, and it's another driving thing that I get when I'm in my office, to know that she's prepared me for a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Even when I didn't know she was doing it. And so I'm certainly grateful for the life that she lived, and certainly grateful for all the golden nuggets that she invested, and certainly we're putting a lot of that stuff into place today based off of her and her investments. So certainly grateful for that.
Amen. And then they said, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And you have one of the most beautiful wives that I have come in contact with. She is such a beautiful person inside and out. And I mean, she is, her humility and is her helping and her servitude as well. Oftentimes you don't find that in a relationship. One might be good and the other one might be a little off. But when you have that team that comes together and they absolutely complement each other, and you don't see one without the other, even when they're apart, that says something. So talk about how you two were able to continue to maintain that love and that peace. Because I know if walls could talk, it's all kind of stuff that, and that's not what we're talking about. Because people don't often see that in order to keep things together, sometimes you got to do some hard work. But whenever you come out, you step out in style and you got it together. So encourage someone that may be going through something in a relationship, how to keep it strong and keep that love and peace together.
Well, the truth of the matter is that that all relationships, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Anytime you have two people, you have two different people, and you have two different people actually growing together as one. There's different backgrounds that come into it. There's different thoughts. There's so many different things. And what you find out is over time, if you're committed, and the truth of the matter is, it has to be a commitment from both people. It has to be a commitment, and it has to be a vision. And as long as both people understand that commitment and both people understand that vision, it makes it hard to separate. And my wife and I, we have challenges just like anybody else. One of the things that we don't do is we don't engage the world within challenges. And that's one of the first thing I feel like people do, is when they have challenges or when they have adversity, they want to express all of that with people that can't provide them any help, and that's one of the worst things you do, because anytime you're taking those challenges and those adversities to people that can't help you, the only thing they can do is then hurt you. So there's no reason to take things to people that can't provide you any help, and one of the things Deanna and I have done, and I commend her for this, and this is something that I commend for myself. Most people don't really understand the start of how Deanna and I started. we started off with a lot of different challenges, as far as even when it comes to my oldest daughter. It was me, running away from responsibility. Can I be transparent and honest? Running away from responsibility, afraid I'm about to be a dad. Oh no. I'm like, too much, overwhelming, let me just, you know, and thank God that I was able to wake up and like, you know what? I can't run from this. I gotta maintain my responsibility. I had a great father, I had a good mother. I can't do this. It's not about anything else right now. I can't run from this. And that's a realization that I had to get to myself. And so we started that. And ever since then, we've been just growing together, and I really feel like as a man, I pride myself in being the man of my house and the visionary for my house. I pride myself in that. And I really feel like, that men need to step up, you know what I mean? And be the man of your house, be the visionary of your house, and what I wanted to see is I wanted to show my wife, here's the vision that I have, and that you support that vision. And when those visions started to become realities, then I was able to start getting more buy-in. And now, my wife knows if I say, honey, this is what we're going to do. This is what I'm about to do. She knows it's clockwork. She knows it's going to happen, because I've proven to her over time that if I have a vision, she knows that I've already put myself in a position to seek the Lord about it. I've already done those necessary steps to bring it to her. And then she knows that it's getting ready to happen. And you know what? That hasn't happened overnight. It's been hard work of growing together and just being able to be a commitment, expressing the vision, sharing the vision, and of course, having resolution. You can't have all these bright ideas, expect someone to buy in and nothing ever comes of it. I think that's what, because she's got as much as invested as I do, and I'm really thankful for my wife because she sacrifices a lot more than what people know. When it comes down to, me working and, of course, with the ministry and just helping people and living a life of servanthood, when people need you and helping out, and whether it's for ministry or whatever, that takes family time, that takes her time, and she's such a jewel because I know that everybody wouldn't be like that, and I really appreciate her because she has really stuck with me when I didn't have anything, you know what I mean? When I couldn't pay our bills, when I couldn't, when I was asking our landlord, hey, can you give me 2 or 3 more weeks? When bills were getting cut off, she's been right there. You know what I mean? So I do everything I can to make sure to take care of her now as best as I can because of the sacrifices that she has given. You know what I mean? And I feel honestly, I try to every day, let her know, hey, here's my 10-year vision and what I got. And this is just keep working with me. You know what I mean? Because this is what I want to do for us. You know what I mean? And I'm certainly blessed in that area.
Amen. Thank you for sharing that with us because, again, like I said, a lot of times people just see the outside and they don't understand what it's taken to get there. So I'm going to lay this one on you because I know in our household, my husband is the only male. And so, and in your household, you're the only male. And so it's so funny because you talked about being a leader. And sometimes when you got these strong-willed women in your life and in your family, it's often hard or a struggle. Yes. But just to be able to maintain that balance and to be able to be the only male in the house, it can go both ways, So on that part, I commend you. But how do you feel being the only man? Do they double team you sometimes?
Okay, so here's what I got to talk to you about. What I actually like, I told my wife when the last house we just purchased, I told my wife I don't need to be there. I don't need to be part of it. Like, so her and the kids led up that venture with the realtor on the purchase of the house. And I said, I don't need to be there. You guys go find the house, whatever. It don't matter. I said, I'm good. You guys figure it out. When you guys find the one you like, I'll come in and we'll finish things up, right? I said, the only thing I want is I just want my own office. That's the only thing I want. You guys can have the whole house. I just want my own office so I can have something that I can go in, I can meditate. Because a lot of times when I was ministering at the previous house, it was just such a smaller house to whereas, I'm trying to concentrate, I'm trying to get my thoughts together, meditate, and I've got kids running around and, and it's not that I didn't want them to be confined in their own home, but I needed a place that I could go to just clearly think, just to kind of put myself in position and to prepare myself. And I said, the only thing, I just want my own office. And if you guys find that, I'm good. I'll be good with everything else. And certainly they found that. And I enjoy my office because I can go in there. They got the whole house. I can go in there. I can shut my door. I can do what I need to do, listen to a little music and just concentrate. So, but you know what? I love my girls. They drive me, they really, really drive me. They actually drive me more than they know. My only mission is to create a legacy, to create a pathway for them better. My dad and my mother has done a great job with me and my siblings, and my biggest goal is to do it better than what my dad did it. And not that he didn't do a good job, but I feel like each generation should get better and better and better. And I took all the golden nuggets from my grandfather, the golden nuggets from my father. Love you too, Kay. And I talk to my kids and I'm trying to microwave them on my life experiences and to create opportunities for them, to where they can have they can be a step ahead, so some of the sacrifices that I make now is not so much for me, it's just for my kids because I want to put them in a better position than what I had. So that's a lot of sacrifices.
So, see, everything I always tell you, the spirit is what guides these interviews because that just leads me right into where I'm going next. And it's about that legacy. And so, God gave you this family to nurture and to lead and to see if you were able to make that happen. And you did. So then he gave you these businesses to be able to be the general manager of and run. And then I know that when you were here in Muncie, some things happened that looked like it might have been going one way. But look at God. He doubled and multiplied you and gave you double for your trouble. And not only that, he's seen that you can do that. And it says if you can take care of a little bit, he's going to give you a lot. And so now, victory lanes. Victory laps. Let's talk about that because now this is a big thing for a young Black man to be able to do. So let's talk about how you made that happen.
Well, like I said again, it was so amazing. I just happened to be Devin. Thanks, Devin. I had to read that real quick. Thanks, D. I had to. First, let me thank Devin Carter while he's on the line with us. But, again, there's sometimes it comes, a lot of people think success is based off of position or success is based off of finance. But to me, that's not what success is based off of. To me, success is based off of life fulfillment. Life fulfillment. How do I feel based off of what I'm doing? And I feel like you always have to constantly challenge yourself because some people will say you're doing too much. Some people will say you're not doing enough. And some people have no clue what you're doing at all. You know what I mean? But I said, I wanted to do something I've seen the young people. I've seen the distress in our young people. I just hear the city of Muncie, one of my childhood friends passed away, and it really has saddened my heart. It really has saddened my heart based off of, the situation. And I just sit there and I said that I may not be able to reach everybody, but if this is an opportunity that I can invest in, that I can draw some young people, my message isn't so much about what is going to be happening there. I feel like this will just be a platform to where I can come to let young people know, here's where I grew up. Here's what's going on here, and also be able to share with them how all this happens, and to have that platform that's within my control, to be able to make sure that I can get that message out and I can put that stronger message out. I feel like, I'm really into, my church and services, but I feel like, it is time for us to come out of the four walls as much as we can, and not to be, just confined within our four walls. And there was something that I was, that came to me, that I can change the venue, but I can keep the same message. And when that came to me, I said, I hear that, I feel that. Like I can change the venue, but I can keep the same message. And I felt like it'll be a great, opportunity for me to help reach a lot of younger people. I've got so many different plans in place on how, I want to pour back into the city, and to be able to help our young people, to encourage them, to motivate them, and to celebrate their successes on what they're doing. Because so often our young people are criticized and they're talked about when they do bad things. We got a ton of good young people out there that are doing some great things. And I've already got my team, which I call the Victory Team. I meet with them every Thursday. Every Thursday night from 8 to 9, I meet with them and we talk about the projects and what's coming up with Victory Labs. And we've got so many great things in store for the young people in our community. So I'm excited to be able to give back, to be able to pour back in, and just to let some young people know that I appreciate what they're doing, and you've got somebody in your corner rooting for you. So I already got my eyes on specific young people that I see doing some great things, and I've already told my team that's what I want to be happening through our company. Not only just to be able to have a business, but to be able to do something and to let people and young people know that they're doing some great things. And we got so many great things in store for that. So I'm so excited for that. I'm really excited for that.
That's awesome. So can you give us a little glimpse of what to expect at Victory Labs?
Oh, wow. Well, it's actually going to be 3 different phases. Okay. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. Okay. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing because of what I do. I'm just not going to stop what I'm doing. But for the last year, I purchased it in August. And since August, I've been setting up business structure for young people, my daughter, and just different people that my wife, different people that are going to help me run and function. Of course, I'll be the brain behind the operation and the business mind behind the operation, and certainly being invested with time. But some of the things that we can expect is, of course, go-karting. There's going to be go-karting on the track. Most people aren't really familiar with what that facility is, and it actually sits on 1.5 acres. There's actually a main track, and then there's actually a small track for younger kids. So there'll be a main track for young adults. Then there will be a smaller track for younger kids within like the ages of 4 to 5 to 6, around that age, to where it's not on the main track, so we can give them their own experience. Well, there also are batting cages. So there's batting cages there. And then in the back, there's actually a big pool for bumper boats. I'm not really for sure if you were aware, but when I purchased the facility, I had a lot of renovations to do to it. Because it had been desolate for 6 to 7 years. So have done a lot of renovations since August. And then, of course, through the winter, because it's an outdoor track, I had to stop. And then now I've got the team back in there going and finishing up the rest of the renovations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce it in 3 different stages, because I don't want to overwhelm the younger people that are going to be operating. And one thing about business is you can have a business plan, but it has to be methodically birthed out, because you don't want to set yourself up for failure. And I don't want to overload our young people. I want to make sure that what they do it well, they do it great. And then we're going to continue to add to it. So the first thing that you can expect at Victory Labs, of course, is go-kart rides. We're going to have concessions to where people will be able to come and get concessions. We've got merchandise, whether it be water bottles with company logos. We've got lanyards, company logos, shirts. We've got all kind of merchandise already. We already have it. And you'll be able to purchase food there with vending. and just live entertainment. We've already talked to specific DJs, to where specific DJs will be there to give live entertainment. And we're just going to have a great fun experience. We got a lot of stuff in plan, and I'm really thankful for the team that we actually have that meets with me every Thursday. They're like clockwork, and we put our ideas together, and we're constantly giving things away. We're not even open yet, and we're already giving things away. Pretty much every week we give something away, whether it's gas cards for the community, water bottles, shirts, lanyards, just because we want to let people see in the beginning stages that it's not going to be all about taking, but we are going to be giving back as well. So I said there's no better way to do that versus starting giving now. We don't have to be open to start giving. You know what I mean? So not only that, but giving our young people opportunity within the community. Everybody that we've had, I've reached out to different people just to give them that opportunity to help us renovate and try to already pour back into the city that way, so that way we can help people that have businesses to help us do what we're doing. So certainly we want it to be a collective effort, and I really appreciate everybody that actually is helping us out to birth this vision. So a lot of great things in store.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you so much for taking the time out to come on and share your life and your dreams, your vision with us, just allowing people to see that everybody has an opportunity to do great things. It's up to you what you choose to do. And your life, like I said, you could have went in so many different directions, and you shared that with us, but you chose to stay grounded and rooted. And now look, you have the victory. Right. That is so good. And I just applaud you.
I literally, believe it or not, I actually picked that name for this track, for Victory Laps, for a reason. A lot of people probably don't know that a couple of years ago, which I know you know a little bit about it, was probably one of the biggest tests of my life. It was one of the biggest tests, the biggest challenges of my life. And just being transparent when was called into an office and basically said, your services are no longer needed. It's like, what do you mean my service is no longer needed? Like, what did I do wrong? And you didn't do anything. It was just other business structure background that I got tied up in that had nothing to do with that. I didn't have an opportunity anymore. And, that was a life-changing moment for me, to know that, I never want to put myself in a position where I don't have something to fall on, and I said, that was motivating to me in so many different ways. And I didn't look at what happened bad. I just extracted the good out of it and said, it is what it is. We're going to move forward, and had a good attitude. And certainly I'm grateful just for what, I really feel like you can extract there's good that comes out of every crisis. And you know what? It was such a moment of truth for me. It was such a moment of faith that, oftentimes as ministers and whether it be preachers, we talk about faith and we talk about, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, but without faith it's impossible to please God, for he that cometh to God must believe he is and a rewarder of them. But sometimes God has to show you, here's what you're preaching now because you're in a situation. Let's see how you act. And I'll never forget when I had to tell my wife what happened. I couldn't even form the words out of my mouth. Like when I couldn't even form the words out of my mouth. When I had that next day to tell my kids what happened, Tanika, I couldn't even form the words out of my mouth. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like I went to go and just tell them, and it's just like I couldn't even do it. It's like it was the hardest thing for me to do in my life, but I did it. I let them know, hey, I didn't do anything wrong, but don't worry about it. God's got us. We're going to be good. And for them to speed up to now to see how everything has turned out, it's now a testimony that I get to share with them, to help them and say, look what God does and look how he does things. And certainly I'm grateful for that. I'm just grateful. I'm just humble and I'm thankful.
And you can tell it every day. You not only talk the talk, but you walk the walk, and that's self-evident in your rewards. You have sown good seed, and so you are reaping the harvest now. And so again, I applaud you. I commend you. I don't
Thank you
want to
so
take no
much.
more time
All right,
from your
thank you.
family and what you got to
Thank you.
do. So tell your beautiful women in your life that we said thank you for coming on
I
and
will.
sharing this a part of your life with us. And
Absolutely.
that's a part of giving back and showing others that look at that. Look. Your wife said God does all things well. She is
That he
absolutely
does.
right.
That he does. That he
And
does.
so, I continue to support you guys and all you do, and we definitely will be with our family out there and
Thank you.
trying to do some fun stuff together because we love to do stuff together, and that right there is right up our alley. So I can't wait. When I saw you were doing that, I was like, "Oh, yay! This is awesome!" And I mean, and it's so good for us to support each other. So people come out and support this, and let's do some great things and show this community what we can do when we come together. And so, is there any last words that you've been inspired by, or that you would want to leave the people with tonight?
I think before I do that, I just want to, while I'm on here, I certainly wouldn't want to come on here without taking the time to encourage you. Normally, and I want to say, number one, thank you for reaching out and giving me this opportunity. And I certainly don't want to make this about me tonight. I certainly hope that things that I've shared have been a blessing to the people that have actually heard this. And just to let people know that everything I spoke tonight was from my heart. It was from, a transparent place. It was from a real place, and to know that we're in some times of uncertainty right now. But there's no storm that is too much that eventually won't be over, and there's life after the storm, and I know there's a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of things. I talk to a lot of people. I experience a lot. I see a lot, of course, being in the industry. I know there's some people that are struggling and people are having some hard times right now. But I tell people to come from a place of victory, come from a place of victory, and to know that victory is already yours. It's just got to claim it. You got to come out of that dark place, come out of that place, to whereas if you don't believe that you are the perfect business person, I challenge those people to connect yourself with some people that are, because there are some genuine people that will help you. They will do everything they can and they'll get life fulfillment out of it. I'm one of them. Call me. I will help anybody I possibly can, and certainly just want to let people know that there's no problem that's too hard for God, so it don't matter. I don't care what you're dealing with tonight. There's no problem that's too hard for God. So if you can have it, God can help it. So that's what I want to leave everybody with tonight.
All right. Well, thank you again for sharing. And like Minister Charles said, if you have something inside of you, God can help bring that out of you.
That's
And the
right.
victory is already yours. So don't give up. Don't give in. Just keep on walking and you
That's
can
right.
see your life transform. So thank you. Hang out
No
with
problem.
me for just a second while I close out. But
All right.
again, mind your business is all about mindful intentions that nurture and drive your business. And
Mhm.
your business is what God has given you to do. And
Yes.
whatever aspect of life you are in, it does not matter what season it is. In due time, if
Hmm.
you do not faint, you will
Hmm.
be able to get that reward that God has for you. So hold
Amen.
on, be strong, and remember, because I tell you this, you were created with a purpose. So come
Amen.
on, people. Let's go be great. Now, God bless you. Have a good night. And thank you for tuning in.
So
I
much.
really appreciate everybody that's watched the show, everybody that is continuing to support. And if you have a story or if you have a gift or a talent that you'd like to share, come on and mind your business because people need to know that there's other people like them in this world that want to do something great. They just may need a platform, and here it
Right.
is for you. Come
Right.
on in. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.